I don't fucking know, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, your dad's a cunt.
Yeah, dude, but so's yours.
I see what you did. Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Brotherhood Without Manners, your favorite full spoiler review podcast of George R.R. Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire series, Hot D edition.
Zach has a frog in his throat.
I did. Did you hear it? Sorry about that.
He's Zach. I'm Nate. Welcome to Brotherhood Without Manners.
Watching Hot D.
Watching Hot D again.
We're not reading. We're just being dumb Americans watching TV because that's all we're good at.
It's a good show, though.
It's a good show.
Pretty great show.
Last episode, we were watching Driftmark.
Yeah, episode 7, Driftmark.
We got a funeral. We got a family gathering, the family barbecue. Shit was awkward as hell. And then someone earned a dragon, whether or not rightfully or not.
It's funny because I posted the poll.
You did.
50-50 split. Thanks, listeners.
Yeah, you guys did us a solid answer in that one. Thanks. So, appreciate you. No, it's pretty great because I think that's a pretty derisive question anyway. Lots of people have different opinions on that.
Zach's wrong. So this episode, we're watching The Lord of the Tides.
Lord of the Tides. Yeah, this episode's sad. Viserys is trying to fix some perhaps mistakes he made in rending the realm apart by naming Rhaenyra his heir.
Which he does if Alicent doesn't act a fool.
So we begin at high tide, where we learn that 6 years have passed since the funeral of Laena, and in the time since, Corlys has taken a wound while fighting back in the Stepstones as the Triarchy is once again resurgent.
Arisen in power.
So, Rhaenys is ruling Driftmark in his name and is receiving a report from the Maester who's telling her what went down, that Corlys got his throat cut, but it's the infection afterward that is the more concerning. And this is where Vaemond begins trying to press his claim that he's the truest Valyrian blood there is. And
just start straight calling out, like, I've seen the fever take people half his age. We need to be preparing for if he dies.
He talks mad shit on Corlys, too, saying that he's led him from this house from calamity to calamity, and that he means to actually care about the house, not just the history books, which, I mean, he's not wrong about Corlys. But
I mean, yeah, the ambition's a bit rough, but Rhaenys is like, you're talking treason, bro.
Yeah, she ain't having it.
My cousin there would have your tongue out for saying this shit.
And so, yeah, he is going to reach out to the Hightowers.
Right.
That the queen...
I mean, he straight up is like, I don't need your approval. The crown will fucking hook me up.
Right, and the Hightowers definitely don't want Rhaenyra's children inheriting, so makes sense. Dragonstone, we jump to, and Prince Daemon Targaryen is spelunking for some dragon eggs and manages to find 3 from Syrax and hands them over to the Dragon Keepers, who present him with a letter from Driftmark, from Baela, who is reporting Vaemond's bullshit.
Yo, Vaemond's gone crazy over here.
And so Daemon brings he brings it to Rhaenyra. Rhaenyra is currently watching Jace try to learn High Valyrian and kicking the shit out of himself for not getting it immediately. Sounds like your son.
Yeah, my son's like that.
And Daemon comes in, so she excuses all her kids.
Little Joffrey playing with his toys.
And reads the letter about Baela and is essentially pissed at Vaemond's insinuations, and, you know, especially since Otto and Alicent will probably side with him.
Absolutely.
And then if Lucerys's claim is questioned, her own is much easier questioned as well. And
then she learns that Rhaenys has flown to King's Landing. So she's not really sure what Rhaenys' intentions are heading there. So
Daemon doesn't think that she'll support Vaemond, but because she took Baela as ward, but Rhaenyra points out rightly that that's out of love of Laena, not out of love for them.
Yeah, because she's still under the impression that Rhaenyra and Daemon had Laenor killed,
so they could marry, And so to King's Landing, then it's decided.
I always love the shots of the Red Keep when it.
I mean, all the.
Right. keeps and castles.
Yeah. The establishing shots of
and
locations are
Dragonstone.
great.
Yep.
And yeah, they arrive with their sons, and they receive a very minimalist greeting, with Lord Caswell greeting them. And
No, they received no greeting.
No
Lord
greeting.
Caswell came out and was like, I was just on my way down to the tavern. I didn't even really. You guys are here? When did you? Come on in. Yeah, sure. You want some coffee or like what's going on?
And this is made worse by the redecorating that the High Towers have done, where the Stars of the Seven, aka the symbol of the High Towers, is, well, sort of, is
Well, yeah, they're
festooned all over the Red Keep, and Rhaenyra outright states that she barely recognizes. I'd say it's good to be home, but I barely recognize it.
I don't know this place. What'd you do?
So they go to see the king, and the model is all dusty and covered.
His fucking
Sad.
model, like, and then because they go in. Well, Rhaenyra first goes in, and we see the extent of his health, and little Viserys is not looking good.
Patty.
He's a fucking mess.
Yo, he's on his way out. Oh, excuse me.
What the fuck?
Clearly, he is on his way out. I'm yawning. Leave me alone. It's been a long day.
Some professionalism.
All right.
Christ.
We'll bring it up here. So Daemon then immediately gets to business and is like, yeah, Corlys is pulling some. He got wounded, and Vaemon's now pulling some bullshit. And Viserys is like, we already did that. Like, the war was years ago. Like, we fought this war.
In the Stepstones, the Triarchy. Right, yeah, we squashed them.
Yeah, we did this shit.
You're just being crazy.
But Rhaenyra, kind of seeing the state he's in, immediately is like, all right, let's just bring in his grandchild. So she introduces him to Aegon and Viserys, her two sons with Daemon.
Viserys.
And he's, of course, delighted
A
that
name
Viserys,
fit
right?
for a king.
But Viserys is scary, and the kids start freaking the fuck out.
Yep.
And Viserys is hit with some pain, so he wants his tea, and Daemon gives it to him. But Daemon checks its contents and realizes that this is indeed some milk of the poppy ass shit. And so, hey, they're keeping him a little diluted, is their thinking here.
A little sedated Viserys.
Yeah. So Harold Westerling interrupts the small council to inform them of the arrival of Prince Rhaenyra and Daemon.
He confirms here
Princess
that
Rhaenyra.
they received a greeting, a welcome befit of their station, as Otto commanded.
Yeah.
They were specifically slighted and not greeted or given any kind of...
Whoopsie days.
Yeah.
So they're discussing the succession of Driftmark. Grandmaster Orwell is very much so confused that Lucerys was supposed to.
Right. And Beesbury?
Beesbury's
like,
is
fucking,
agreeing as well.
Luke's, he's the... Right. I heart Beesbury.
Yeah, so they're doing the, there's no experience with ships, yada, yada, yada. Everyone knows that doesn't fucking matter. And Alicent demands that the claimants can present their petitions. The following morning, she's got to go greet their guests, only to be intercepted on her way by Eric.
By Eric.
Sir Eric, that there's been an incident in Prince Aegon's chambers that's quite delicate. And, oh boy.
Yeah, fucking Aegon's been at it again.
Talia, one of the White Worm's little sneaky sneaks, presents the queen with the weeping girl Diana, who is one of Princess Helena, or Queen Helena Targaryen.
Not yet. But
will be queen.
Right.
It's one of her maids, and she's been raped by Aegon. Yay. Aegon's great. So at Alicent's request,
the actress who played Diana was just killing it.
Yeah.
She was so horrified.
She explains what happened, how she was just trying to serve the wine, and he forced himself. Alicent is sympathetic, but also being practical as far as what needs to be done here, and confirms that she thinks Diana's telling the truth, but then basically is like, imagine what they'd say about you if you told anyone else but me. And
you'd have no choice but to live that kind of life.
And pays her off. And then she drinks some moon tea.
Forces her to drink some moon tea
A
as
lot
well.
of moon tea.
Yeah, she does. She poured the shit into that thing.
And so then Alicent goes and wakes Aegon up with a few right slaps to the face and berates the fuck out of him for the assault on
She
Diana.
says that he's no son of hers.
Hey!
God damn.
No wonder he's gonna fucking pull away from your ass.
All right, Tywin.
Yeah.
Chill.
And so, yeah, he then feebly protests of he never asked for these expectations, and nothing he's ever done satisfies either her or Viserys, and she just looks disgusted. And then Helena steps in and is like, "Has anyone seen Diana? She needs to dress the children." And Alicent runs over and hugs her.
Yeah, she loses it there. She can't date no more.
And so Rhaenyra and Daemon are discussing the state of Viserys when Alicent comes in and accuse outright of keeping him sedated so that they could rule. This moment was
so funny. Just
the exchange
Daemon's,
is great. Yeah,
his responses, his facial expressions.
Yeah, Daemon and Alicent interacting is always fun because there was earlier in the season with the "Would you like to see the tapestries, Daemon?" Which is
why would he want to see
the tapestries? He has no interest in such things. One of my favorite scenes. Yeah. And then here, he's just basically calling her out. Like, yeah, so you and your father can warm my brother's throne. And Alicent insists that that is not the case, that the heraldry is so that way they can remember to stay within the light of the Seven within these trying and uncertain times. And also says that, you know, when she sits in and...
They're speaking with the voice of...
Right, when her and Otto sit in judgment of the petitions over Driftmark, that she will take into consideration the treasons that were voiced. She'll you know, forgive the treasons that were voiced in this room, which is such a good slapback for Alicent, a good clapback, as she leaves. And, yeah, now we get the tension of, it's Otto and Alicent deciding on the petition, because obviously Viserys is in no fit state. So we get some of the yard action.
Yeah, so this is some of the most awkward scene stuff I've seen at first. With the way Jace is
these
like...
These two boys are
He's
goofy.
So overly hype about being down here, and like Luke is like, hey, let's chill. Like everybody's staring like we're and he's like, whatever, I don't care.
Yeah, Jason,
acting like he's gonna hit him and shit.
He's
like
having fun. Leave him alone.
Relax, Jace.
But
chill.
They do notice a crowd forming around a sparring match, and they see Criston Cole and Prince Aemon going at it. And you pointed out that, like, seemed to be a little more aggressive than just, like,
well, to me,
the
like,
Morning Star he was swinging around.
If he accidentally bobbed instead of weaved, Criston Cole was collapsing Aemon's head.
Yeah.
Like, I get confidence and I get training. That's not, like, that wasn't no blunted weapon. You were about to bash his fucking brains in. What are you doing, Criston Cole?
And so, yeah, Chrisman.
Fuck him.
Criston gets his ass kicked and announces that Aemond will be winning tourneys in no time, but Aemond has no interest in tourneys. And then he immediately, like, spots the boys in the crowd without even looking at them, because losing an eye makes you that much sharper-eyed, I guess.
Daredevil.
And asks if they would like to have a training match, but they are saved from this answer by the arrival of Vaemond, who is escorted by his Hightower escort.
Shit, yeah, he is.
Hey!
Keep him safe. And then we get a cut up to the small council room, and the king, the queen, basically, and Otto are meeting with Vaemond.
Yeah, this is the tit for tat here, where Alicent doesn't like it. It's still distasteful for her, but Otto's already set, and yeah, this is the good idea to do. Give it to Vaemond, and then Vaemond is promising us the ships of Driftmark,
right,
to support our claim. And so then we cut to the Redwood.
I love
the Red keeps Godswood, the Redwood.
The Redwood.
The Red keeps Godswood, where Rhaenys is just taking in the Heart Tree, and Rhaenyra comes up with Laena, of course, who, you know.
She was being warded with Rhaenyra.
Yeah.
And, again, Rhaenys isn't thrilled with Rhaenyra because she killed Laenor.
And calls her out for, you know, bringing my granddaughter isn't going to soften me to you. But yeah, Rhaenyra is basically begging Rhaenys to advocate for her and her son's claim to Driftmark, rather than in support of Vaemond. And then realizes, like, oh shit, you're here to claim it yourself. Like, you're here to just throw your own hat in the ring and keep going for Corlys. But Rhaenyra insists. Rhaenys tells her, like, you know, you did fucking kill my son? ?
I didn't do it.
Yeah.
I wasn't
Rhaenyra,
complicit.
says that she didn't order it, nor was she complicit in it.
I swear.
I swear it.
I swear.
And then, of course, starts making crazy offers of, we'll marry our kids, that way your daughter's queen and my son's king, and then we'll marry the littler ones, so they'll rule Driftmark in our names, and
then, yeah. So
Rhaenys is like, yeah, that's pretty desperate, but okay. And so, yeah, they part, and a storm begins to batter King's Landing as Rhaenyra goes to visit Dad.
Yeah, because Rhaenys kind of still is like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah,
I'm doing what I want to do.
Basically tells her to fuck off. Yeah, I'm not petitioning for you.
Which is funny because I'm of the opinion that Rhaenys wasn't petitioning for herself when she came.
I don't either.
She was coming for Luke.
Yeah, I agree.
She was the one arguing with Daemon.
She's just taking it in
She's just
and listening.
Like, I think it's the Laenor thing coupled with the insult that you'd think I wouldn't come and support like I'm the queen. Like, I was supposed to be the queen.
Right.
And, like, I'm the first person to uphold the...
And, like, Corlys, like, she did make the argument for making, the girls the inheritor of Driftmark.
Right.
Over Luke and Jaehaerys, just for this exact reason. But, yeah, no, I agree. I think she was here to support that claim anyway, because that's last Corlys' word was Laenor's sons,
right.
And that's
right. Because even we saw it at the funeral last episode of Corlys going up when Luke freaked out and was like, "Everybody's dead then if I'm the Lord of the Tides." Yeah.
So yeah, Rhaenyra is tearfully pleading her father for help as she feels like she has none. She tells him that you told me the Song of Ice and Fire was about a prophesized leader who would unite the realms, yet you divided them in naming me heir, and tells him, then defend me if you think that's true. Defend me and my children. But Viserys is so fucking out of it from pain, medication, and illness, and she's crying, and it's a great shot with the thunder rumbling, and it's really sad.
He's feeling a little woozy.
Yo, I mean, Viserys is looking rough.
And then we get the next morning where we get to see how rough he is everywhere.
Yeah, gross.
Because on top of the wounds all over his body, when he sits up, we see how frail he is, how tiny his little head is, and his arms, and he's a fucking mess.
Yeah, I mean, maybe in Otto's brain, the milk of the poppy is to keep Viserys sedated, but I don't think it is for Alec, because we clearly see here that he is in fucking pain.
Yeah,
breathing hurts this man.
Right.
And he's got deep open sores on his body, like there's some on his side that just look fucking rough. And so but he refuses the milk of the poppy here, saying that he would like to dine and have everybody for dinner, and Otto is like, Your Grace, it's morning. And he's like, fucking later, Otto.
Tonight, Otto.
And tells him to see it through.
Otto.
And so we come to the partition, and Otto is seated on the Iron Throne in his king's stead. Of course.
He's just living it up there.
With Alicent and her sons beside her, and Helena's there as well on the side. And Vaemon is allowed to speak first, of course, citing House Valerian's history, having escaped the doom, and as well as being Corlys' closest kin in the true blood of an Valerian heir, and he even mocks Rhaenyra, saying, I could cut my wrists and show you my blood, and you still wouldn't recognize Valerian blood, bitch.
Yeah, because Rhaenyra interrupts here, and I hate this.
Yeah, bitch. You know the way this goes. Like, you can't speak out of turn. Judge Judy's gonna kick your ass.
Which then frustrates me, because Alicent tells Rhaenyra off, let him finish. And then Vaemon turns and asks her a question.
And then he immediately addresses her.
Don't ask her a question after she just got scolded for... What are you doing, asshole?
Yep. So Vaemon finishes what he thinks is a strong petition, and Otto invites Rhaenyra to speak on her son Lucerys' behalf.
Here we go.
And she's immediately like, if I'm even to begin an argument for this farce, but of course, triumphantly, the king is back. Yeah, Viserys is determined to actually put an end to this for his daughter, and it's like at some point he heard her. It did cut through the cloud and the haze. That's why he started refusing the milk of the poppy, because he's aware that Driftmark, Rhaenyra's claim, all these weird fucking words and terms are being thrown at him again, And so it's that I need to come out of the cloud and kind of focus up for a minute. And he struggles, and it's a fucking
really
great
struggles,
scene of him struggling down to the throne.
Right. Eric tries to give him some help when he stumbles a little bit, and then he refuses it when the crown falls off, though. Daemon steps in.
Yeah.
And...
yeah, it's sweet. He places the crown back on his brother's head, and once settled, Viserys is like, I am confusion! This matter is settled. What the fuck are we doing?
What's happening here?
And even if there were anything further to discuss, the only fucking person here is Lord Corlys' lady wife, Rhaenys, who could explain. And she's like, I agree, Your Grace. That's right. Me, bitches.
Me.
And steps forward like the queen she is. And to Vaemon's shock, Otto and Alicent's upsetness, she's like, yeah, Corlys has always asserted that he wishes Lucerys to succeed him.
And better yet...
And cherry on top.
Rhaenyra just
We
told
had a great
me
breakfast.
about how she wants to marry her sons to my daughters. So we will be both on the Driftmark throne and the Iron Throne.
She releases the mic, which Viserys then hacky sacks into Vaemon's face, and it's just the best scene.
Dude, but Vaemon doesn't...
Oh no, he's too fired, and the actor nails it. Like, you can see him, like, that indignity that is hitting him, and I can't blame it. He's not fucking wrong. Like,
I gotta say, he's mirroring Corlys' ambition, though, because he's blaming it on the bloodline and the blood. Valerians are still gonna be on Driftmark. Like, they're still holding it through... Laena, right?
Jace yeah. No, I mean,
and it's like it was said in, like Rhaenys said to, or not. I had the other way around. Where Corlys said that the history books are gonna remember the names, like they're not gonna be forgotten, and so you do continue on. Still.
Yeah, he's mad about the diluting of the blood,
and so it's his ambitions also.
But he has to be ready to die. Like,
yeah, he has to.
Goes off on the
you have
king
to know, like,
and tells him that, like, you can run your house how you want, but you have no authority to run mine. Brother, what?
He's the
bro. You can't tell the king he doesn't have the authority to his face, to half his face. It's not. You can't do that.
Nope.
You can't. And, like, Viserys starts drawing his dagger, and he's like, "You're a fucking second son. What do you even?" And he's like, I'll have your tongue, and then Daemon...
because he gets up and he's like, and these boys are... And then Daemon, it flashes over to...
Say it.
Say it.
Say it.
With a little grin on his face. Like, say it. Go ahead.
Do it. And then he even calls Rhaenyra a whore, which is the big no-no, I think.
But Daemon decides he can keep his tongue, but not the top half of his head.
And poor Helena... She gets
God.
jump scared by it
and
like head, like hands over
Macaulay
the face.
Culkins and just
poor Helena.
That girl's got it.
But everyone's like, oh shit, and Otto's like, disarm him, and Daemon's like, no need. Cleans his sword.
There's nothing. It's all done.
Right, I killed the guy I wanted to kill, and so shock and exertion overcomes Viserys, who collapses, and immediately Rhaenyra and Alicent begin to fawn over him. Alicent calling Alicent calls for the maesters, and Viserys is insisting that he's got to make things right.
And he's like, I want dinner together.
So, as Rhaenys is watching the Silent Sisters prepare Vaemon,
this is a cool fucking conversation.
This is a cool fucking scene. It's just really the way she's framed with all the candles in the back is cool. And Grand Maester Orwell is saying, he'll be ready to go back to Driftmark tomorrow, but you should probably leave now, my lady. It's bad luck.
Look upon the face of death.
And Rhaenys with the bad bitch energy is just like, I've seen the face of death. Like,
right. I'm not scared of him. He doesn't care if my eyes
and he doesn't care if I'm watching. Right. At this point. Right. At this fucking point. So we get the dinner.
Dinner time.
It is dinner
so this
time.
is this whole dinner time. This right here is the meat and potatoes of this fucking episode right here.
It's sad. It's Viserys' last chance.
And he takes off his mask is how he starts it off. And we see the full extent of his missing eye, half of his face. He's Skeletor.
He's trying to drop the pretense is one of my favorite
I'm not the king.
I'm not the
I'm
king.
just
I
your
love
father,
you all.
grandfather.
And I want you all to love each other. And that's the entire point of this dinner. And he said, there's faces around this table I see that I haven't seen in years, and because we've all fallen out with each other, and it breaks my heart. And he is pleading with all of them, but the shit runs too deep.
Yeah.
It's too ingrained. It's the children at this point.
It's that
Alicent and
Rhaenyra
for Viserys' sake,
exactly.
They are both heartbroken by it,
and they give
and then they start to
and
recognize that we were fucking friends. What are we getting all pissy with each other for? And then the kids can't help but
Aegon is just being a little bitch and making passes at
especially
Baela
in the episode with Diana. It's just vile.
It's
the most vile shit, and I really respect the actor of Aegon because I do enjoy his performance of him, but man, Aegon is just such a detestable person.
Yeah, it's
way more so than
character.
Aemon for me, because Aemon at least has a reason to be angry at these two little shits sitting at the table with him.
Right.
Aegon is just a rapey cunt.
Yeah, he's a rapey cunt.
And so, gross. But
Jace he slams, getting ready to just fucking take it out on Aegon, but instead gives a nice toast himself.
Yeah, tries
to his uncles.
Yeah, there's much of that, much toasting. Some of them.
Well, because then we get the fucking best toast of the night when Laena stands up and toasts her husband, or toasts everybody getting married, the new proposals.
Baela and
Rhaena, she was
mainly.
it's all right. It's all right. Usually you just get ignored, except for sometimes when he's drunk, and so that's,
Whoops.
Gross.
Yay.
Let's bring in the music.
Bring in the dancing lobsters. So Jace, like a boss, goes over to Laena and gets a dance
Dude,
from
all
him.
in Aegon fucking right in his face.
Yep.
It was so good. Such a good jab.
And Viserys is starting to enjoy the sides of his family, enjoying it, and even Otto does his little golf clap for
It's
Laena.
your favorite thing. You've been talking about it in
I'm
anticipation.
obsessed. And also, when she does her speech, he looks at her and goes, good. And I love it. He's so supportive of Laena, and I'm here for it.
She's a great person.
She's the best.
I mean, she'll always be the best, even if she has to.
So yeah, they're dancing, but as the suckling pig is set on the table, Jace can't, or Luke can't help but laugh a little bit.
Chuckle and laugh. Yeah, because he's about to, what's his name? Viserys, the king. Did he leave dinner
Oh,
yet?
yeah, no, he has left, yes.
He had his little
by
fit
this point,
and was, coughing up, and they were like, all right, let's get this guy out of here.
Yep, he's dying, so let's, let people eat.
He just accidentally coughed a piece of his cheek into the... Ugh. That's why they brought out the
the jaw bit was fucking raunchy. But yeah, so he leaves, and then, Aemond is going to slam the table because he's being laughed at because of the pink dread.
And then he makes a nice heartfelt speech.
Of course.
Very good.
To
Very
his
good.
wise and handsome and strong nephews. And of course, strong is the insult. So they begin fighting with Aemond and Aegon, respectively, before Daemon steps in.
Oh my God.
As stepdaddy Daemon comes in, and Jace immediately backs up, he listens to Daemon immediately.
And then but that's when Vaemond too just stopped.
Yes,
or not
they
Vaemond,
Aemond. They stare off with Daemon and Aemon, and
and especially because it's almost similar to how Aemond looked at Daemon when Daemon took off Vaemond's head.
Yeah.
In the hall.
Begrudging respect and admiration.
Which we, of course, know that they're going to kill each other over the God's Eye or Harrenhal or whichever one it is. I forget. But
they
separate.
Yeah, they separate. Rhaenyra and Alicent kind of gather and are like, sorry.
Sorry, our kids are fucking...
Rhaenyra's like, all right, I'm going to get the boys back. And Alicent actually genuinely seems upset. You only just got here. And
I'll come back on Dragonback.
And Alicent's, me and the king would both like that. So there's almost a hope of reconciliation.
If only.
And then we see Talia sleuthing through the night and bringing Missaria all the evening's good juicy gossip.
Right.
So, snake in the weeds. And then late that night, we get Alicent coming to Viserys to give him his last, nightly bit of medicine. And confusing Alicent
I'm about to lose my shit. So.
For Rhaenyra, he continues the previous conversation, saying, you asked me if I believe it's true, and I do. Aegon's conqueror, Aegon, his dream, the Song of Ice and Fire, it's all true. You must be the one to unite the darkness. And Alicent hears Aegon, asks him, our son Aegon, but of course he's too far gone, and as Viserys dies slowly,
right.
Alicent snuffs out the candle and tells him she understands before leaving him, and his breathing kind of takes us out before his last words.
The rattling breath.
My love.
Which is meant for Rhaenyra. So.
And he gets to die and check out of all this nonsense.
This is the biggest leap to get to where Alicent thinks that he meant Aegon. She knows for a fact that he did not, there is no way you misinterpret that without taking some of the most enormous leaps in what he's saying. Aegon, his dream, unite against the darkness. Fuck you. You're gonna think that it's, go to hell. No, you're wrong, Alicent, and I don't want to say you deserve everything that's coming to you because it's some harsh ass shit, but fuck you. Team Black.
I don't know.
Here we go.
I mean, yeah, she's wrong, obviously. We know that, but I could see how she could misconstrue it. It's,
yeah, by stretching everything you can.
Yeah, I don't think it's for the power grab, though. I think it's she's seeing her husband in a state, and as Rhaenyra said, she did faithfully stick by this grub of a man.
Technically, you can see that by her climbing in the bed with him there.
She climbs up and she dabs his cheek and everything.
Being that close
she cares for him.
Yeah.
She holds his fucking gross
hand throughout dinner,
and in the bed there, and she's rubbing it and shushing him. She is caring for. I know it, but it's that she's not shying away from him. You would think. If she was just grabbing for his power, he would be shut in the room and only tended by handmaidens and shit. She wouldn't be fucking feeding him the milk of the poppy and dabbing his spittle away. Alicent cares for Viserys. As gross as that whole grooming shit was, it worked, and she loves him now. And I think in this moment, it's that seeing him go, knowing the whole spirit of this night was about reunion and communion of family. I think it's easy with tensions being as high as they were, the way dinner ended, even though Viserys didn't know that it ended in conflict. She does. I think, it's easy for her to make a jump in logic because of everything that's led up to this exact moment. So I don't think it's in the wrong, but I think
it is. But anyway.
Well, because we know. We have the omniscience to know. She has no fucking way of knowing. Viserys hasn't told her the Song of Ice and Fire.
And it's just that there was so many confusing things that he's saying that for her to draw the conclusion that he means that I should instill Aegon
it's an intense
when I'm
thing
and
to
I
choose.
get for the that this is why there's a Dance of Dragons
but as we know, we've seen this season we know she doesn't take it lightly. She's not she doesn't grab this and is immediately Rhaenyra has to die. She's got to die so Aegon can take over. She shows shock and surprise that Otto and the council are already planning to instill Aegon over Rhaenyra. She's shocked by that. And so, it's a great fucking show. But this episode with Patty's last.
Yeah, and we got, again, you mentioned it before. The actor that's portraying Aegon, he's doing such an outstanding job of being that slimy fucking
gross.
Yeah. And knowing he's gonna be king.
I just can't wait to be king.
Yeah, and I think that wraps up this.
I think so, yeah.
Episode.
This one was pretty straightforward. Claims of inheritance and Vaemon losing his head, which, again, when he was being dressed up by the Silent Sisters, was just a really neat, horrific image of a guy's head split in two, but it was just really good prop work of them doing the body. Yeah, and again, the framing with all the candles. Beautiful stuff. Rainy's my girl.
So if you have anything you'd like to holla at us
Holla at your boys.
You can send us an email at withoutmannersbrotherhood@gmail.com.
You can catch us for the next episode, which I just closed my computer,
You're
so I don't have the title of.
Absolute mess.
And I'm looking, and I'm looking, and I'm looking, and I'm looking.
The Green Council.
The Green Council. All right, obviously, because we've got a plan to instill a new Green King.
And then we go from there to the Black Queen, which will be the season finale.
2 episodes left of this first season, and then we'll be on, it should be airing by then, season 2, folks. So stick around for that. And then I'm sure we'll be throwing some book content, real soon after that. So, enjoy this hot D ride with us.
Yeah. Fall out of Harris.
Peace.